All right. I hope everyone can hear me. Okay. Good, good, good. So what is going on, creatives? I hope everyone can hear me. If you can hear my voice, I would appreciate if you can drop a message in the comment box. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy what I'm going to share with you today. And I would advise you not to despair. I'll do my best to make it short, but I'm sure you guys are going to thank me after this meeting. Right. Okay, so who is ready? Who is ready? I need to turn on my camera so you guys can see my face. Right? Okay, somebody's asking for the link. So I'm going to share the link with creatives now. But please, if you can hear me, I would appreciate if you can drop a message and to confirm that, because I can hear myself here. So if you can hear me, kindly drop a message and say, yes, I can hear you. Okay. Yep. So this is a training I'm sure, like I said, you guys are going to enjoy. So I'm trying to invite the creatives on my platform so they can be part of this. So I'm going to put the link up now so they can join us. Yes. So Wayaka Jarinka, I see you. Okay, so you said you can hear me. Beautiful. Hafiz Mohammed, yeah, I see you there. Said you can hear me. Akindele Kayode also said, yes, I can hear you. Beautiful. I hope you guys, who is excited to be part of this meeting, please, if you're excited to be part of this meeting, I would appreciate if you can also drop a message and let me know how excited you are so we can start, please. Please, if you're excited to be part of this meeting, I would appreciate if you can drop a message. Okay. Jenny say, I am excited to be here. Israel said, I'm very excited. Afiz Mohammed said, very excited. Akindele Kyle, they said, very excited. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my camera now so you guys can see me. Oh, Lawal. Oh, Lawal. Okay, I see you. All right. So I'm going to turn on my camera now so you guys can see my face. And let's see if this goes up. Yep. So I hope everyone can see my face. If you can see my face, can I see you drop a message and say, yes, I can see you? I wish I can see every one of you, but it's not possible. All right. Yes. Miwa, I see you. I see you, Obed Miwa. All right. Okay. Please, I will appreciate if you guys can invite other creatives so they can also be part of this meeting, because one of the things that have really helped me as a creative is what I'm doing for you guys. Okay, so if you know any designer that needs to be part of this meeting, please share the link with them. Let them also be part of this. If you invite someone and the person is blessed, trust me, there's a reward for you from God. So I will appreciate if you can do that. Invite other creatives. Let them also know that this meeting is holding. All right. So I'll do my best to make this short because I know some of you are busy. And so this is how we're going to do this. If you have questions you want to ask me, all right, kindly wait for me to say I'm done. And you can now start asking your questions. So for those of you that don't really understand how this meeting is going to run, this is how we're going to do it. It's a series, all right? It's something I'm going to continue doing. Aside from me teaching you guys how to make your portfolio look professional, I'm also going to teach you guys how to create, design, mock-up, how to create a good design that will beautify your portfolio. All right, so it's more like a graphic design and portfolio design training. So I'm going to advise every one of you to always make yourself available so you don't miss what I'm going to be sharing with you. And for those of you that have not subscribed, please do so now, because this is something I'm sure you can something I'm sure that you won't regret subscribing to my channel. All right, yes, so let's start. All right, so for those of you that don't know me, I need to introduce myself again. My name is Ekiade Adetunji. I am the founder of Ceasar Graphix and Ceasar Graphix Academy. All right, so I'm doing this training. In fact, my goal is to be a blessing to designers, and that's the reason why I'm doing this training. So the reason why I decided to make this training for you creatives is because I've found myself in different interviews from different organizations, and I found out that most of the time I go for the interview, we're always send our portfolio out, and it always happens that I'm one of the first three that the organization pick. In fact, let me say, I always win the interview, and one of the reasons why they always pick me, which I believe is the fact that they like what they see on my portfolio. And I know so many of you have come across, sending your portfolio out to clients and you don't get calls back. One of the reasons why you don't get calls back from clients is because your portfolio is not looking presentable. Your portfolio is like you standing in front of your employer. If your portfolio is not looking professional, nobody's going to employ you. And your portfolio, in fact, most of the reason why clients, organizations, your employer always asks for your portfolio is because they need somebody who's going to fix that part of their organization, that part of the graphic design of their organization. So they need someone who can help them. So before they can bring you on board, they need to see how you've been able to solve your own problem. Before I get to the things to watch out for before before you start working on your portfolio, I need some of you that don't know what portfolio really means. I need you to know what it means now, so you know how important it is. A portfolio is a collection of a designer's work that showcases what he or she has achieved so far and what you wish to accomplish in future. And portfolio is very vital. It's very, very important. So every designer, if you're a designer and you don't have a portfolio, trust me, you are not ready to to work for your desired organization. I don't joke with portfolio. In fact, aside from the fact that I have a PDF document of my portfolio, I also have a social media account where I post my project. The designing of portfolio is not only when you put it in a PDF document and then you send it out. No, there's also the part of you having a website where you post your designs, or you have a social media account where you post your designs. And let me tell you, if your employer is not if your employer did not go through your application letter, there's these two things that they don't joke with. The first one is your CV, which tells them which make them know your education background, about you, your belief, your skill. And then the very key one, the very key thing that most employers don't joke with is your portfolio. And let me tell you this, they read everything that you put on your portfolio. I'm telling you, there was a time I went for an interview, and the boss of the company told me that among the people, because the person that posted the job vacancy on her social media account she's a social media influencer. And somebody who is a social media influencer, if that person posts any job vacancy, how people will just start sending in their portfolio. And among the numbers of people that send in their portfolio, I was lucky to be among the three people that the company called. And among the three, I end up winning the interview. Aside from the fact that my portfolio grabbed their attention, there's another thing I normally do when I go for job interviews, which I'm going to share with you guys when we are done with the designing of portfolio. And that's the reason why I'm going to advise every one of you not to please despair. It's something I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy. And when I started working for this organization, the boss of this company called me and said, do you know that the reason why we decided to bring you on board is because of two things. Number one is your portfolio. The second guy that we're trying to consider have over 50 pages of designs in his portfolio. But when we check your portfolio, you only have 20 pages. And those 20 pages cover everything we're looking for from a designer. And that's the same thing I'm trying to teach you guys in this training. All right. So here I have my slide here, and I need every one of you to follow everything I'm going to share with you. So every file document I'm going to be using in this training, you will find the link to get it in the description section of this video, of this training. So today I have this background image that we're going to use to design the first 2 pages of our portfolio. And next week, we'll get to the designing of design projects. Okay, I'm not going to share the first project we're going to work on with you guys now, because I really want to make this look more interesting. So I'm not going to share this with you guys, but we're going to design 2 pages today. We're going to design the about us and the about you, and also the cover of your portfolio. I'm sure you guys are going to love this. Now, I'm sure the about you part, I know so many of you are always fighting with knowing how to compose that. So I'm going to give you the secret to how to compose a beautiful about you that, when you send it to your client, to your employer, all right, they wouldn't have any other choice than to say, bro, please come aboard. All right. And so let's start with the cover. All right. I'm going to put my slide up, and if you can see my screen, I will appreciate if you can confirm that. All right, we're going to start with cover. And yep, sorry, I'm supposed to see my stuff here. Go off. All right, so I hope everyone can see my slide. If you can see my slide, I will appreciate if you can drop a message and say, yes, I can see your slide, Ceasar. All right, so we're going to start with the cover, and I'm going to share with you guys why your cover is very important, because your cover is also part of what clients check. All right, so who can see my screen? Please, if you can see my screen, I will appreciate if you can drop a message. If you can see my slide, please. Okay, beautiful. There's a Graphix Studio. I see your message there. All right, so yeah, so we're going to start with the cover, and I'm going to tell you why your cover design is very important. So many designers are used to going online to check out portfolio designs from creatives, and then they just copy what they see from the person's portfolio and add it to their design. Now, I don't find that wrong. All right. But as a designer, it's not every design you see on the internet that you must copy. There are some designs that are not okay. And this is one of the reasons why, as a creative, you need to understand what it takes to have a good design. Your understanding of a good design is also important. Even if I teach you guys how to achieve a good portfolio, because I know I'm going to be showing you guys some beautiful designs that you're going to design with me. I'm going to come up with a design, then you are going to repeat the same design, and we're going to break down the goal and the solution, which is also what most organizations are looking for. Okay, don't sorry guys, I don't want to jump. All right, so you need to understand what a good design looks like, and your designing of portfolio is another three. It's something I want to say trick. I said three. Is another thing that most organizations always look at. They always like to see if you're good at design layout. So your designing of portfolio, your layout is also important. All right. I'm sure by the time we get to the working on the design parts, you guys are going to understand the layout part, but I'm still going to touch the layout part today. All right. Now, so your cover is very important. All right. You know, whenever your clients, most time, I'm talking of employers, when they ask you to send in your portfolio, you're not the only one they ask to send in his or her portfolio. The people, they check their portfolio. Okay, if I put yourself in the shoe of the employer, you receive over 200 to 150 portfolios. I'm sure you won't have the time to check the 150. So what most employers do is they judge you from your cover. It's from your cover they know, okay, this person is going to have good content inside his portfolio. But if your cover is already looking busy, is looking ugly, they won't even waste time looking at your portfolio. You know, I remember when I was still doing portfolio critiques for designers, there are times when I don't even waste my time checking out the designer's portfolio because the cover already explained what I'm going to see inside the portfolio. And that's why I don't disturb myself checking the designer's portfolio. And that's the same thing that happened to employers. You know, there's a time where I was asked to speak at a conference, and somebody asked a question that, what does it take to achieve a good design portfolio? Then the other speaker said something very powerful. He said, I can't look at somebody who I notice he or she is not giving me what I want. If I look at your portfolio and I see you're not giving me what I want, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to look at your portfolio. All right. So today we're going to look at the designing of a good portfolio cover. All right. So then so the first thing you need to make your cover look like is the making it simple. All right. Your cover needs to be very simple. Sorry, guys. Yes. So your cover needs to be very, very simple. The simplicity of your cover is what's going to give your employer the confidence to know that, yes, this person is going to do something good. All right. So I'm going to show you guys how you can come up with a very simple cover, and then we now get to the about you. So I'm going to turn this off now, and I'm going to go straight to creating a new document by going to file, and I'm going to use new here. Now, see guys, the fact that I'm using Photoshop here now does not mean this is the only application you can use to design your portfolio. All right. You can also use Illustrator. You can use Corel Draw. You can use InDesign to design your portfolio, but don't use Microsoft Excel, please. All right. Okay. So now when you're designing your portfolio, there's something called making it light. All right. You know, I've had the opportunity to send my portfolio to organization outside my country, and most of the time I'm asked to fill form. They always have this part where they say upload your portfolio, and they always say use maximum, which is also part of your text. All right, it's also part of your text. So they'll tell you the size they are looking at for your portfolio. So they understand that for you to be a good creative designer, you should know the right DPI to use that will give you less size, and then will have enough page, that your portfolio will have enough page. Now, there's these two ways that we design portfolios. All right, we have the hard copy type of portfolio, and then we have the soft copy type of portfolio. But my focus today is to teach you guys the soft copy. So my DPI here, which is my resolution here, is going to be 72. All right, and my width here is going to be 1920 by 1080. All right, so I'm using the HD frame size here just in case the client wants to check this on his desktop or maybe on his mobile phone. So they want to have a full frame size of my portfolio. I prefer to use this frame so it will give them the desired result they're looking at. All right, so I'm going to call this port because I'm going to save this I'm going to save this Photoshop file because this is where I'm going to design all the portfolio. And my color mode is going to be on RGB because it's not a printing project, so it's better we leave it at RGB, which is also part of the things you need to understand as a creative. All right, so I'll leave every other settings the way they are, and I'm going to hit the create button. Now, before you start placing the content on your project, which is also part of the the things you need to learn to do well as a creative whenever you are asked to work on projects like magazines, which is also part of what we're going to touch in this training. You're asked to work on magazine, flyers, brochures. You need to understand that there's this setting of margin which will help you with knowing how to place your project to the point where there'll be this, you have this window like a window, not the window. You see, have this frame around your project here. So I'm going to create that margin here now by going to view, and I'm going to go under guides and say new guides. No, sorry, it should not be new guides. It should be view guides and select new guide layout. And I'm going to make my top here 70. Now see guys, the fact that I'm using 70 here does not mean this is the only margin that you can use. Here you need to play, just have fun, just use any points, all right, for your margin, but make sure your margin is not too big to the point where it won't give room for your content to print. All right, so here now I want to have columns here, so I'm going to turn on columns, and I am going to put let's have like let's say 4 columns. All right, let's have 4 columns for our project here, and I'll make sure my gutter here is set to 20 pixels. So the gutter simply means the space we have between the columns here. All right, the space we have between the columns here, and I'm going to select the OK button. So we're designing the cover. All right, so I'm going to create a folder here, and I'm going to call this folder cover. All right, then I'm going to type my name. No, before I even type my name, let's just type portfolio. All right, so I'm going to put PORTFOLIO here, like that, and I'm going to change this to black. All right, and activate the free transform and make this big like that. All right, we're going to make this real big. Okay, so now I told you guys that it's from your cover that the client will judge you. So right now we are going to create contrasts, because contrast is what makes good design look successful. When you give room for contrast, when you allow contrast on your project, it's going to make it look successful. And that's what I'm about to create here now. So I have this bold lettering here, which is the character here is Helvetica Neue. All right, so I'm going to make a duplicate of this, and I'm going to put my name. So right now I'm going to move this to this side here, and I'll type my name by putting capital E, Keade, and my name. Okay, let's just put Gabriel for the people who are not from my country here. I'll put Gabriel. All right, so now remember I mentioned contrast. So right now, if you look at my my title here, my portfolio text here looks bold. So now I'm going to use something light. all right, like that, to create contrast. And I'm going to make this real small. Now see, where you place this does not really matter. You can always put it here, all right, you can put it here, but make sure that you don't do too much play right here, all right. So I'm going to make this bold, this big, and I can position this here and make this centralized. All right, so I'll make this centralized like that. And then I'm going to go straight to where I have the exercise file. I'll drag that and drop here like so. So the reason why I'm using this type of background here is because I'm trying to give the portfolio a paper texture. All right, I'm trying to make it look like my portfolio is printed on a paper. All right, so I'm going to move this down here. Now see, this part here is not really necessary, but the reason why I'm going to advise you to do this is so as to not to make your portfolio look too flat. All right, so I'm going to reduce the opacity a bit. All right, I'm going to reduce the opacity a bit. Now this part here, you now need to play with any color of your choice, but make sure that if you're using any color, make sure you are consistent with the color you use on your portfolio. Don't use too many colors. All right, if it's one color you're using on your portfolio, please let's have that one color all through the project. Or if you have two colors you want to use, repeat the two colors throughout your portfolio. All right, so right now I can have any color of my choice. If I say I prefer blue here, now I can just use this shade of blue. All right, and I'll put this here, create a new layer, hold down Alt and hit backspace and change my blend mode here to multiply. So right now that we have this blue color on our cover, we can always change this to white, all right, in order to give room for contrast. So now if I hit Ctrl H, now we have this simple looking portfolio cover. But right now I am going to put this back on, and we have our cover ready. All right, so if you are the type who is looking at playing with two colors, you can have your cover this blue, and then you can now make use of the second color, maybe on the maybe one of the letters. You can just put it here and change this, but make sure the color you're going to use should you make sure you use colors that work well when you combine them together, which is also part of what clients check. So blue, I'm going to use something around yellow, all right, because yellow and blue are colors that work together. So you can put this behind this, and if I hit Ctrl H here, it's still going to look okay. So the reason why I'm doing this now is because I know some of you may still want to play with your portfolio. All right, so if you want to play, you can always do stuff like this. All right, another cool thing you can do is you can just have something like a separated line separating the the name from the portfolio. So the idea behind adding rules between your words is to create separation. So you can always have this here, all right, and it will still fly. That's if you still want to play with your cover. All right, so you can have this like this and it will go, all right, like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to, okay, you know what guys, I think I prefer the blue color. All right, so I can leave this as is, and see guys, you can also change the text color here to the yellow color. All right, don't say because okay Caesar you're using white, I'm going to stick to white. No, you can still use, sorry, it should be yellow. You can still use a yellow color on your cover like this. All right, it will still fly. All right, but I think I prefer white. Okay, so now let's go straight to the next thing, which is the about you. So I'm going to share my slide with you guys again now, and I'm going to show you guys how to prepare the about you. All right, so I'm going to go from so I'm going to continue from here. So we have the about you. Now the reason why the about you is very important is because that is where your employer would know your belief as a designer. It's what makes them know if you really understand what it takes to be a designer. All right, that's where you put the about you and what to expect from your portfolio. I know some designers they don't write more, they don't really write much about them on their about me page, which is wrong. You're supposed to write something about you on your about me page. So I'm going to show you what to put on your about you page. So the first thing you need to have on your about you page is your name. Yeah, I know you already have your name on the cover, but you still need to put it on the about you. All right. Then the other thing you need to now put is so your name. So I have my name, which I already have on the cover, but you still need to put it on the about you page. And then we now have what is designed to you. So I'm going to teach you guys how to put this together. Now, I'm not saying you should put what is designed to you on the about you page. No. This is just to help you know the question you ask yourself to know what to put on the about you page, because everything you're going to put on the about you page should have something related to design. In fact, it should be 100% design related. And that is why the about you have on your portfolio should be different from what you have on your CV. All right, I'll repeat this again. The about you have on your portfolio should be different from what you have on your CV. Everything on your portfolio should say something about design, because the portfolio is to tell them who you are, what you believe, how you think as a designer. So what is designed to you? I already have a text here for those of you that care to use the same text that I have here, but you can always come up with your own text. It's not compulsory you use the same text I use. This is just to help you know what to put down. So I have here that design for me is a journey, a process of discovery that is fueled with research and creative passion, as well as the desire to enrich and ignite creative passion. All right. Now, guys, your employer will surely read this and tell you they read it. Okay, because they want somebody. Okay, it's the same way you think is how they think. You want to give. Okay, you have this event you want to go to, and you need a professional stylist to style you. Before you go to the stylist, I'm sure you go check the stylist's previous projects in order not to waste your money and end up having something that you don't like. And that's the same thing they do. All right. So the next thing is, how do you get creative? All right. Then I already have that also here. I put it here that I believe inspiration for graphic design comes from everywhere. The trick is what to look for and how you see it. This principle has really helped me. You have to personalize it. This principle has really helped me in my design journey. So whatever you're putting on your about you, please don't forget to personalize it. Even if you're going to copy it from the internet, remember there's the you personalizing it part. Because if you don't do that, it will look like you're just defining what the question is saying. So when you personalize it, it looks like, yes, it's you. Okay. Then we now have your hobbies. All right. Now, I want you to watch how I prepare my hobby here. So I put it here that my love for reading, all right, playing, because as a designer, oh my God, guys, you need to catch this. As a designer, because you need to also be smart. If you're a designer, being smart is also part of what you need to learn how to do. And that's why you need to learn the habit of confusing your clients if your client is saying no to something that you know will help them. All right. So sorry, I'm gonna put my camera off. Yeah. So I have it. So the hobbies I put here are the things that a designer must know how to do. So I put it here that my love for reading, playing games, and listening to music has provided me with food and thought, which is what I believe also fuels my creativity. So when they read this, they know, okay, this guy is actually a designer. Because if you're a designer, reading must be part of what you do. Playing games, because inspiration also comes from games. In fact, inspiration comes from music. It comes from games because music informs you. Inspiration comes from reading. So all these things I put here are what a designer must know how to do. I don't know if this part is also part of what they notice in my portfolio that made them say, guy, we want you to be part of us. So you need to make sure you make this available. It's very important. All right. It's very important. All right. So then the next one is the education. All right. So you need to let them know, your education. Now, this part here, you don't need to put everything about your education background. You can just put maybe two. All right. You don't need to put how you went to the how you went to secondary school or you went to the university. That's why you have a CV. So you can put that in your CV. But the focus, what you should only put on your portfolio is the part where you got a degree in design. I hope somebody's getting this. All right. So can I continue, guys? Okay. So then the next thing on my slide here is your skill. Now, your skill is very important because every organization wants to be sure if you know how to use the graphic design applications, how you come up with design concepts. So I have for the digital parts, I have all the applications that I know how to use. So see, the fact that I have all these applications here does not mean you should now repeat the same applications I have here. Don't put what you know you can't, you don't know how to use, please, because if you put what you can't do on your portfolio, by the time you are employed, all right, if they notice you can't achieve those things, they're going to send you away. So please only put the things you know you can do in your portfolio. All right. So the next one is the analog. All right. So there's this part of making them know that aside from you knowing how to use the application, there's also the part of you making your hand and your brain work together. And how do you do that is by, you maybe getting a pen, getting a pencil and a notepad and then drawing your idea on a paper. All right. And you're also good at maybe sketching and doing research, which is also part of what you should know how to do as a creative. All right. Then the next one is personal, which is creativity. You're very creative. And then you are also good at teamwork. Teamwork is also important in your portfolio. I notice so many designers don't put this in their portfolio. You need to let them know that you are very good at teamwork. All right. Please don't. In fact, the teamwork is this, as small as it is very important. So let them understand that you love and you enjoy working with people. So let them see that you understand that, that part right there. All right. And then you need to now have your contact on the about you, which will give them the opportunity to contact you. All right. So, yeah. I think that's it, and I'm going to go straight to my Photoshop application and quickly put this together. All right, so then we are going to create a new folder now. I'm going to call this folder about. All right, then just call this about like that. Then I'm going to make a copy of the background now, and I'm going to move this up here. All right, I'm going to hide this like so, and I'm going to hit Ctrl-H. So now let's start drawing our layout here. So I'm going to draw a frame here. All right, I'll draw a frame right here like that, and I'm going to fill this frame with a color, and I'm going to go to where I have my name. All right, so I'll copy my name from here. All right, and I'm going to paste the name right here. Okay, then I'll use black right now. So I'm going to be very fast, with this. Okay, then I'm going to activate the free transform and make this smaller. So this should fill this area like that. All right, then so now the reason why it's easy for me to quickly come up with this is because I already have what my layout should look like, and that's the reason why I can easily create this. All right, so then I'm going to make this I don't want to use 100% black because You know, there's nothing that is 100% black. So I'm not going to use 100% black like that. And the reason why I'm also using this layout again here is because visibility is very key when designing a design portfolio. All right, it's very, very key. So make sure you make it simple enough for your employer to go through, you know, your portfolio. So I'm going to change this to Roman. All right, and I'm going to close the space between the letters and activate the free transform. And then I'm going to make this smaller and place, not paste, place this here. All right. Then you can also create contrast here by making the title bold like that. All right. To make the page or the information look more dynamic. All right, like that. Okay, so this is good. Then we now need to put the what is designed to you part now. Now see how I'm going to put this in my portfolio. I'm going to copy this now, and I'm going to draw a text frame like this. All right, then I'll paste this like so. And I'm still going to use the same character. Now, there are other good, character you can use here. Just in case you don't want to use the same character I'm using here, Mostrat is another good character you can use to, you can use on your profile. All right. You can use Mostrat. You can also use Calibre. And you can also use Marvin Pro. All right. Those are beautiful characters you can use. All right. And I'm going to select regular. I'm going to pick, okay, let's use Roman, and I'm going to change this to, let's use 12. No, that's too small. Let's just use 24, or make it, let's just make use of the up and down arrow like that. All right. Okay. So I'm not really a fan of using Helvetica to write profile like this. So I'm going to switch to let's use Mostrat. All right, I'm going to use Mostrat, and yeah, you can use Mostrat. All right, I'm going to use this. Should we stick to, no, let's just use medium. Let's use medium. All right, so I'm going to use medium now, and I'm going to make this very small like so. All right, then yep. So then I'm going to add more space between the rows. You know, I told you guys that visibility is very key, right? Visibility is very, very key. So there should be enough space between your rows. Then I'll go to the how do you get creative. So I'm going to copy that. Now see, please, all this information about here are information I'm going to advise you to, memorize, because it's possible you may be asked to defend this. All right, so please make sure you memorize this so that by the time you are called to defend it, you will know what to say. Okay, so then I'm gonna push this up a bit like that. Okay, so because I'm using Mostrat here, I'm going to change everything here to Mostrat. So I'll use MOFT. And I'm going to use bold like that and change this to medium. And I'll also change this to medium. All right. I'm also going to change the cover. All right. So I'll change this also to medium. Okay. Like that. Good. So then this can move up here, and we can have more space. More space here. Like that. Good. So then we can activate the free transform and just make this a bit smaller, and we can have more space like so. Okay. Yep. Then for the hobbies, all right, so I'm going to copy that, and also paste that here like that. All right. So now I'm going to move this in here because the space here, all right, the information I have here is too close to this frame here. So I'm going to move this in here. All right. Now, see, guys, I know some of you are wondering, so see that, but we already have a guide there. See, the guide is not a prison. All right. It's just for you to it's just there to help you balance your work. So the fact that you have the guide does not mean you should not change things. All right. It doesn't mean, in fact, if you notice you have a guide that is not working, you can always go back, all right, to fix it. So if I say, okay, I'm not really feeling this guide now, I can always go back here and change this. All right. I can make this, let's make this 40. All right. So we can clear this. All right. Yeah, we can have it like this, or we can even make it, let's make it 50. All right. Yeah, I think 50 is fine. And I'm going to select the OK button. And then we can now make this touch the guide. But this can now go smaller like that. And we can move this in a bit like that, and make this bigger. So, all right, then we can now just make this a bit smaller. Okay, so I'm still going to make it smaller. Let's just make it 24 because we still have some other information we're going to add to this. All right, so we can note this again. Yeah, like that. All right, so there's another thing I miss here, right? Because we need to have heading here. So I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to add a rule here. And this rule is going to have the same color with my text color. And I'm going to make this, let's make this 5, or let's just make it 8 because this is the top rule here. And I'm going to change this to about and use bold. All right. I'm going to use bold here. And activate the free transform now and make this bigger. So space is very important. Notice that I did not make this overlap on the rule like this. Please, space is very important. So there should be this space between your text. In fact, let's just make use of extra bold. Yes, extra bold is fine. And I'm going to close the space a bit like so. And now I'm going to move this up like that. Then we can make a copy of this and move this down here. All right, we can move this here. And this rule now can now have, let's just make this 2, make it 3 like that, because this is where I plan to put the education. All right, so we can move this down a bit, or better still, let's just push this up a bit more, make this smaller. Yes, so then because we still need more room for the other information that we have here. Now please guys, the reason why I'm doing this is I really want to, I'm also trying to teach you guys how to play with space and how to achieve good design layouts. All right, and I don't want every one of you to think, okay, design should just be something that as soon as I get to my system, I'm just going to start putting things I'm supposed to know that, yes, I'm supposed to start putting things together and just end the project. No, I'm trying to teach you to also let you know that there's the part of you going back and front to fine tune things to look suitable to your preferred look. All right, so I'm going to make sure this is resting on this, and I'm going to change this to 33. No, 33 is too much. All right, so like that. So for this, I'm going to move this up a bit, all right, and make a copy of this and push this down here. And I'm going to call this education, all right, and paste this here. But because this is not the title, so I'm going to make this smaller. I'm just going to make it, let's just make it 30. No, let's use 30. Let's use 40. Good, 40 is fine. All right, so I'm going to put the education now by copying this first, right? And I'll paste this here. All right, and this can just be bold, okay, because it's not always professional to have the same weight with the heading. All right, so I'm going to make this a bit bigger. Or you know what, let's just play with the same character size here. So I'm going to use 32 for this. So make this 32 like that. Okay, what size is this? Yeah, this is good. All right, so then I'm going to copy the year, and the year can now be 15. All right, I'm going to make the year, oh, that 15 is too small. All right, let's just make it, I'm going to make this regular, and I'm going to make this let's make this 25. All right, and this can come here. Now if I put this here, all right, it's going to affect the information I have here. It's going to make them too tight, so I'll prefer to put this below this like that. All right, then I'll copy the next information now and make a copy of this and position this here, then paste. All right, and I'll put this down, and I'm gonna make this rest here like so. Or you know what, let's just push this plus down. All right, yeah, like that. So that is for that, but make sure that your information here are well aligned. Beautiful. All right, so in order to now not have wrong alignment here, all right, I'm going to duplicate. Yes, so I'm just going to duplicate this, right, and move this down like that. All right, then I'll copy the next information here, and so paste that here. But guys, if this is making sense to you, I'll appreciate if you can drop a message. All right, and I'm going to change this to 20. I'm going to change this to 2 and change this to 4. All right, yeah. So for the other information, all right, so I'm going to copy that again, and I'll paste that here, and we can now keep the enter key like that. All right, then right now my information here still need to go up, so I can move this up like that. Okay, I think I pasted the same information twice. Yes, I did. That was a mistake. So I need to go back here and copy this. Okay, and paste this here. Yes. Yeah, that's good. So then yeah, then we can move this up a bit, or we can move all the information we have here. All right, we can move that up a bit like so. And then for the education, we can put that in a group, because you also need to help your layer panel in order not to get tired of, you know, working. So I'm going to call this education like that, and move this up. Excuse me, this should go. I'm sorry guys, we're almost done. So this can come right here. All right, and yep, Then the next thing we're going to do is to put the skills. So I'm going to go here and copy the skill texts and make a copy. No. It should be copy of this. So I'm going to move this down. Excuse me. I'm going to move the education down bits like that. And this can move up a bit like so. Yep. And we can move this up a bit like that. All right. Then we can move this up like this. All right. Now there's something I want to do here because I almost forgot. We need to number our portfolio. So I'm trying to create room for the numbering. All right. So yeah. So for the skill, all right. So I'm going to put make a copy of this and position this somewhere here and then paste this like that. All right. And copy the skills. So for the digital, I'm going to copy that. All right. And I am going to draw. No, let's just move this out here. All right. Then I'm going to copy paste that here. Now make sure that this is well aligned. All right. Make sure that this is aligned with this. It aligns with the rules that we have here. So I'm going to paste this here and I'm going to use the same character size, which is 32, I guess. It should be 32. Yep. And this can now be smaller and we can make this smaller. Yeah. So this can be red medium and we can have the same font size with this here, which is I think it's 29. Is it 29, guys? Okay, let's see what we have there. Yes, 25. So I'll copy this. I'm going to make use of the same size, 25. Good. All right. Then I'm going to close the space between this. So I'll close the space like that. All right. Excuse me. I'm supposed to select the Photoshop texts. Okay. You know what? Let's just make this. Yes. So we're going to move this down a bit like that. See what we have now. So we still need to add more space. Yep, like that. Then for this, we can push enter to put it down and a copy and enter and paste. Okay, so we need to close it because we're taking more space there. So this can now have the analog. All right. And then we can now paste this here and copy this again and paste this here. And this can now be the personal and we can copy this and paste this here like that. All right. So yes, so we can move this up here and let's see what we have now. So for the picture, yeah, very important. Yeah. So there's this part that, you know, so many of you don't really pay attention that is also important, which is the type of picture you place on your portfolio. You know, I see creatives make this mistake of using passport pictures where, you know, they're just looking straight like this. No, your portfolio should look friendly. And part of what's going to make your portfolio look friendly is your expression, all right? Your facial expression. So I'm going to drag in one of my pictures here, and I'm going to tell you why this is important. Again, when your employer see this, when they see the look on your face, all right, when they see you have this smiley face, then you know, in fact, smiley face already explain who you are to whoever is looking at your portfolio. When you have it, when you put on a smiley face, you are already telling them that you are someone who is friendly, someone who loves what he or she is doing. But when you are putting on a straight face, you're going to make them, you're going to scare them. All right. In fact, another thing that smiley face does to we human is it makes us look beautiful, makes us look handsome. So don't forget, make sure you put on a smiley face when designing your portfolio. It's very important. Now, when I say put on a smiley face, I'm not saying you should now stuck out your tongue. No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't make it too playful. All right, please don't make it too playful. Remember, you're sending this out to an organization, so you need to make sure you make your portfolio look professional. All right, so yeah, so my picture here is looking too dark. All right, and I'm going to make this a bit brighter. All right, so I'm gonna make this brighter like so, and I can also make it black and white if I want to. So I can make it black and white like this, and it will still fly like that. All right. And yep. So what else do we need to do? So for this, for the education part, right, I'm going to put the skill in a group. So I'll call this skill. All right. Then, all right. So I need to be fast. My camera battery is low. Thank you, Sammy, for calling my attention to that. So I'm going to push the education up a bit. Like, oops, I didn't put the rule in a group. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to move this up like so. And this should go in here. So I'm going to move this up a bit like so. Yep. I can also move this close, or let's close the space a bit. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I know I'm still going to put now the space is too much. The space is too tight. So I'm going to move this back like that. And another thing I always do to help space on my project is I always close the space between the words. All right, I'll do this. All right, because space is very important. So now avoid widows. All right, when you are designing your portfolio, please watch out for widows. For those of you that don't know what widows means, it means this word that is standing on its own. So avoid it whenever you are designing your portfolio. These are things that clients check, or not only clients now, your employer check. Okay, so please watch out for it. So avoid widows. So whenever you see widows like this, find a way to fix it. There are several ways you can do this. You can always close the tracking, make the tracking tight. But one of the reasons I don't really advise making your tracking too tight is because it's going to make your lettering too, it's going to make it look too squished. So I'm going to open that now by doing this. All right. Then what I can do is to move this up like this and add space. Okay, like that, to help that, widow there. I'm sure somebody did like that. All right, so I'm going to move this up a bit because I still want to have more room for where I'm going to put the numbering. All right, so I'm going to move this to somewhere here. Yeah, so this is good. And now we can now have a rule again by dragging this from here down here. And this can be one like we have it now. And because, yeah, you need to number your portfolio. So we can move this to somewhere here. And then we can now have number 2. All right, this is going to be O2. And I'm going to make this extra bold and activate the free transform and make this smaller. And this can come right here like that. Now, some of you are wondering, why do we have this as the number 2? Yeah, this is the number 2 because this is the second page. This first page is always the number 1. Even if you are designing a magazine, the first page is always the number 1. Okay, don't forget. All right, so I'm going to move this here. And now if I hit Ctrl H, look at how beautiful we have our about us or about me page. Look at how beautiful it is. And for our cover page, all right, I need to change that to the same character that I have here. All right. So yes, so we need to change this to Mostrat. All right, I'm going to change this to must-write. Very important because your style of playing with type is also important. All right, it's also important when designing our portfolio. So I'm going to push this out here. No. Let's move this in. All right, and change this to, yeah, optical is fine. And I'm going to hit Control H, activate the free transform, and we can even make, yeah, we can also make our text rest on the guide here, and it will still fly. And then this can now be the same character again. Now, see, guys, you can use more than one character on your portfolio. All right, yes, you can use more than one character, but I like to make my project more simple, so I'm going to stick to just one character here. All right, so I can use, since my name is big, I can use light. All right, and it will still work. All right, so I can make this smaller like that, and we can now centralize this like so. And now if I hit Control H, we have our cover ready, and then we now have the about us, ready. All right, so guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. So if you have questions you want to ask me, you are free to drop a message in the comment box. I'm going to answer your question to the best of my knowledge. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you do, I will appreciate if you can drop a message in the comment section. So I'm going to wait for just let's say 2 minutes for your questions. So if you have questions you want to ask me, please, you're free to ask. Yeah, so we have so let me just quickly go through your messages here. All right, so Kuforiji is saying I'm enjoying it. Africa, my own, say great. Emmanuel Enemona said this is looking great. I'm glad you like it. Afiz is saying we feel you. All right. Yes. All right. So any question, guys, please, if you please, I will appreciate you if you can share this video if you have not, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so now. And I will appreciate that, which is one of the ways you can support this channel. And please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this training. All right, yeah, I'm still expecting your question, guys. Okay, I can see a question from Victor. Okay, so I want to quickly turn on my camera. All right. Yep, I'm back. All right. So I have a question from Victor, and the question goes thus far that aside having a portfolio, do you need to have a graphic design CV? And is there a difference between portfolio and CV for a graphic designer? Yes, you need to have a CV because your CV explain who you are fully. All right, your CV make your employer know your background. All right, it makes them know your background, and it's very important. It's very, very important. Your CV is very important. Okay, then the difference between the CV and the portfolio is the portfolio handles the design parts, while the CV covers your profile parts. All right, your CV covers your profile parts. It tells them who you are, your background, your age, your skill, your level of skill on the use of the design application, and like that. So that's the difference between the portfolio and the CV. All right, so you all need to have that. All right, please make sure you get yourself a CV. Yeah, so Owolabi Isaac is saying, I'm so happy to start this with you, sir. Why do we not have a line under skills? Good question. So Owolabi Isaac, see, I'm a fan of simplicity, and too much of everything in design is not going to help your project. All right. And making your project dynamic is what's going to help your project. In fact, it's what's going to make your design look successful. Now, I want you to know, check this. In fact, thank you for asking this question, and I know it's going to help somebody here. If you look at my project here now, remember we created 4 columns. All right. Sorry, I'm going to make this visible. Yeah, we created 4 columns here, and then we now convert it to 3. Now, each of the columns are like the way you have a room, or maybe 2 rooms and a parlor. The look of your parlor is different from your room. And that's the same thing that applies to how you design layout when you're designing brochure and magazine. So if you look at the first column where I have my picture, you notice that the arrangement there, they have similar style. The next column have similar style also, while the last column now have its own different style. So if I'm repeating the lines, all right, it's going to make this look too busy. And that's the reason why I didn't do that. But I hope you get the idea behind making it dynamic and the helping that creating that separation with the columns on the page. Please, if you're okay with my answer, I would appreciate if you can drop a message. Guys, I'm still going to share more with you guys. So I would advise you never to unsubscribe, and make sure you're always available every Thursday, because we're going to do this again next week. All right. So we have let me see. Please, Owolabi, I will appreciate if you can drop a message. Please, guys, we have just 3 minutes to do this, and then we're going to say bye-bye, because I can't answer all your questions today. So I'm going to answer one more question, and next week we're still going to have this meeting again. So don't ask all the questions today. Okay. All right. So Sammy, okay, so I have above. Is it above? Yeah, above. Above is saying, please, sir, why presenting yourself in CV, portfolio, and as a brand, is it really required to show your face? So now, a portfolio is a personal brand, and that is why you must not make it look like a brand. If you are designing a portfolio, you don't design a portfolio like, for example, my name is and my brand name is Ceasar Graphix. You don't do Ceasar Graphix portfolio design. No, your portfolio should be you. Why? Because most organizations that always employ us, they can as well go to brand agency to contact them to get to work together with them. But the fact that they decided to contact you, they contacted you because they want a personal designer to work together with them. So don't present yourself as a brand when designing your portfolio. Please, everyone, do not call yourself Shege Graphics or Johnson Graphics, or what's that name that we normally call ourselves? Elephant Graphics. No. Don't do that. All right. Make use of your name. And that's why you notice I didn't put Ceasar Graphics here. I have my name on my portfolio. Please don't do that. Now, portfolio is not only for people that want to work in-house. If you're a freelance designer, you also need to have a portfolio. I'm a freelance designer and I have a portfolio. All right. So please, every one of you must have a portfolio. All right. So please, guys, we have to go. All right. I know we have more questions, but time won't permit. All right. Because this training is already up to 1 hour, and I don't want us to spend forever, working on this project. Okay. Yeah. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.